What's up, guys? Welcome back to Free Will. This is Tony Scardino. This week we are going to do a little Q&A. So we have two questions that we're going to answer. The first question is, what's your meaning of life? The second question, do you believe in fate, or do you believe that we create our fate? So both questions kind of tie into one another, so I love that. This will create a super awesome topic. First question, what's your meaning of life? I feel like clearly this question is more specified towards me, since with the capital YOUR, they want to know what my purpose is. But we're going to start in a more broad sense of what I think a human being's meaning and purpose of life is. And then I'll get a little vulnerable and tell you about me. But let's get started. This is why free will is free will. And I think that's our meaning of life. I think it is the basis of free will, which is also going to be the basis of fate. I believe that we are, separate from the physical. So we are a soul, a spirit in this physical body. And we came down to earth to have lessons and experiences. I mentioned Dolores Cannon, a famous hypnotist that spoke to the subconscious of people, put people under and spoke to their subconscious. And what she gathered through information was thousands and thousands of people saying the same thing of what happens after death or what they're seeing, what they're experiencing. They're all different experiences, but in a way, she was able to calculate the energy of our universe and what's going on in our world and who we are as human beings. Along with that, university, they did a study with 70,000 people that they studied that all said the same thing of what happens life after death, and they explained the same scenario. This is what I believe to be true, what I remember, what I feel connected to. And yeah, basically going into it is picture your spirit out in the universe somewhere, and you go in this room and you have to gather lessons and experiences to get to your highest self, the divine, the knowledge of all, the full potential and growth of yourself. Another way I like to see this is we're like stars in the sky, and God, which is the unity, the source of energy, right, is like the Big Bang. It explodes into a bunch of little spirits and souls, which are us as human beings, where that's why we're all connected, but we're all separate individual. He created polarity, and he said, go, my children, go learn everything there is about the universe. And I think we are all these little souls, these little star seeds that have this goal in mind of lessons and experiences. And I think that the physical world, Earth, this planet, is like a university. It is one of the hardest colleges in the spirit realm, where this is the third dimensional, right? We have 3D, which is length, height, width, past, present, future, the law of three, negative, positive, neutral, where we come here on earth and this is where we forget. We forget all of this because in order to know your truest path, one must walk in the darkness. So you will know that this is your truest path. You will know exactly where you need to go once you do it in the dark, right? That's why they call this the awakening from a dream, enlightenment. Low vibrational light turns into matter. High vibrational matter turns back into light. Now, this all sounds like the crazy mumbo jumbo, but genuinely think about this. We are this conscious intelligence. What are we doing when we're on Earth? We're living, and to live means you need the light and the dark. You need the positive and the negative. To know what positive even is, you need to experience the negative. And to understand what the negative is, you need to know what the positive is. So we're these human beings given free will, given intelligence, and we're having lessons and experiences. Going back to our last episode where I talk about the DNA code, our DNA is a written language that only intelligence was able to create. So, when you think about it, over time, we keep filling our DNA up with more knowledge. We keep adding to the code. We keep doing certain things, meeting certain people, experiencing certain places and occupations, and all of these certain things in the physical world that is giving us knowledge, right? When we're experiencing, we're learning new things. When we're learning, we're growing, right? So when we come across a hardship and we get through it, those are the lessons. We talk about it in the episode of karma, where everything is a lesson. In order to change your future, you must live in the present and continue that cycle of growth. Get rid of the karma, which is living in the past. It's moving forward. It's going on this path, this journey. What's your meaning of life? Overall, I think everyone's meaning of life is it's not coming onto earth, it's not being a physical body, it's not just these lessons and experiences, it's not the higher self. The overall meaning of life is that vibration, is that frequency that gets us there, and that's love. Love and the discipline of love. Love is the necessary foundation of our life because that's how we move through life. That's how we interact with people and things and enjoyments and happiness. We talk about the good and the bad. This is the love versus the fear. This is overcoming the fear and operating on love. So I think love is everyone's meaning of life. I think source, that creator, that unity is love. And going back to Dolores Cannon's books, when she's under hypnotism, she's asked people, they say that they're with source, they say that they're with God. She's asked them, what does this feel like? And they say, just feels like love. I feel safe. I feel peaceful. I feel happy. And I think that is our meaning of life, is getting through these lessons and experiences with love, through love, to achieve love. Now, in specific, when the person's asking, what's my meaning of life? Like, what's my meaning? In a less broad sense, I think everyone, before they come onto this earth, they choose lessons and experiences that they need to have in order to get through this path, to get to the next step, per se, to the next step of being your higher self. That's why, no one is special. No one is more special than the other. No celebrity is more special than any homeless person. No homeless person is more special than a celebrity. It doesn't matter who you are, because no one is special, because we are all special and we are all on different timings. We've all had the free will to choose which lessons and experiences we want to fill up in our DNA code on how we're going to get there. And I think we're all experiencing the same things and the same lessons. We're doing it at different times. And that's what creates this beautiful physical world of planet Earth. But we talk about it in numerology. We all have a life path. We all have, this certain path in life on this lifetime that we wanted to experience to get us to that next level in this video game that we're playing, in this play, to get to the next scene in the play. And I think the numerology definitely shows to be proven in definitely my personal world, because I see it in every single person that I know, their numbers. And for me, I definitely think my meaning of life right now, living in this physical life, is to indulge in this knowledge, to universal knowledge, to gain and be the philosopher of the theory of everything. Because in life, your meaning of life, to operate on love, we have to operate on excitement. Not that fear and anxiety, but that love and excitement. You have to do things that excite you. For me personally, what excites me is learning about all of these different religions and cultures and spiritual texts and ancient texts and putting it all together and connecting the dots and then sharing my information. I don't want to debate about it. I don't want to, make someone believe it. I want to have this information out there. And I think this is exactly what was required for my path because it's what excites me. Putting out free will and doing the research and the studying I'm doing for free will and speaking my mind out on these topics and how to help people, that excites me. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I think that's what everyone needs to do, where what do you do when you have no job, no responsibilities? Let's say you had a year of no job and no responsibilities. What are you doing? What are you doing in your free time? What's exciting you? What motivates you? And I think, yes, it's definitely, we're living in the physical world. We need to work, we need to do these things. But having that mindset to find out what excites you will put you on that path that you already planned. Now, this goes into our next question because I make statements that we are our own creators, we are God, that we are a part of the unified source of God. We are just the polarity of his consciousness, but we are essentially our own creators of our universe. We manifest, we generate the energy as energy into creating the reality we want to create with free will, with choice, conscious awareness. So, do you believe in fate, or do you believe that we create fate? And I believe in both, because going back to what I was saying with the purpose of free will, the theory of everything makes sense. It's connected to everything but attached to nothing. So when it comes to fate, yes, I think we have a fate. Yes, I think we have a certain destiny as individuals and as a collective. I think love is the foundation of what our fate is we are all destined to achieve that state of consciousness, of being, of love, of peace. But in a more now physical sense of our fate, I went off on a story of how the universe works and how we're, spirits in this little room, and we navigate, we plan what we want our life to be, and we decide, okay, we want this set of parents in this environment, and that's exactly how I want my life to be in order to have these lessons and experiences into getting to my higher self, right? So that is the foundation of free will right there. The free will of your soul creating this play, creating this video game, putting yourself in this video game of life, of the physical world. That is the foundation of where that free will begins. Then you're born. Then you have environmental factors and behavioral science, where the environment affects who you are, which again, that was already planned because you put yourself in this environment. You have all these factors and it's building up your DNA code, and you're having these experiences and you're going through this with family and friends, and you're moving and you're traveling, you're doing all these things that are filling up that DNA code. And that could essentially be fate, right? Because it was already, fate is a let's look up actually the complete definition of fate. Definition of fate is the development of events beyond a person's control, regarded as determined by a supernatural power. So the supernatural power is yourself. It's your soul as the creator, right? It's your higher self. Determined this life, right? But in everything you're going through, let's say if you're doing it unconsciously, it is fate because it's already been determined, but by yourself. Then, with free will, you are the director, the script writer, the creator of your own play. You can change the script. You can rewrite the script whenever you want. Your energy can jump onto a frequency through awareness. And that's why a lot of our themes in our episodes have been about the awareness, the not being programmed in the matrix, in Earth, right? The the negative energy, the matrix. Just like the womb, you're in the womb for 9 months, but by coming out, because when you're in the womb for 9 months, you wait to see the light of the Father. The Latin root of Father, the God, which means path. So you're in the matrix, earth, the negative energy, something that takes from out, brings within, and creates. And then you go to the positive energy, which is expansion, the light of the Father. That's what they say. We're the sons of God. We are the creators, the God. It is the balance of doing both, of using free will, whether it was your soul, the supernatural power creating your life, determining your destiny, determining what lessons and experiences you need to have, and then it is being aware, being deprogrammed in the physical world to use free will and to create your fate the way you want it to be. So fate and creating our fate is essentially the same thing because we are always the creators. It just depends if we're doing it through awareness or if we're doing it unconscious, if we're conscious or unconscious. And then we have the subconscious. I'm doing this, but I'm not even putting too much thought on why I'm doing this. I'm just doing it out of, a subconscious behavior, subconscious thought. And that's why free will is free will, because that is the basis of the fact that we are the creators of our reality, and then having this in-body physical experience to get us closer to our fate, to our destiny, which is going from that polarity of, being separate from God, being separate from one another, to the unity, the source, the divine, the source of energy that generates us all. And that is me going through Looney Tunes. I'm just joking. Yeah, it's complicated stuff because, again, everyone's meaning of life, everyone's consciousness and their awareness is completely different than one another. So that's why I say I'm not here to debate. I'm not here to prove my point, because this is my meaning of life, this is my purpose of life. And you have your own. Every single person around you has their own. Everyone is living in their own reality. Everyone in their own reality, in their own movie, is their own main character to their movie. So that's why when people get upset at other people for doing certain things, like, realize that you're the main character, that they think they're the main character, and now what was the lesson or experience you were supposed to have to fill up that DNA code? Because believe it or not, no matter if you think there's nothing to the universe and that this was all coincidental and there's no purpose or not, you are learning every single day. You are having lessons and experiences every single day. And if you think all of that information just goes to nowhere, with how beautiful the universe is and with how much of a miracle this all is, all how this energy works, how the quantum physics works, how I'm right now learning about sacred geometry, about how literal geometry and shapes and math resemble the tree of life and our life. And we'll get into that. But I'm learning about that right now. And it's like all of these connections, when I developed this theory of everything, it's because more and more I kept keeping an open mind and listening to people's thoughts and listening to people's cultures and religions and ideas and theories and philosophies. The more and more I kept listening to them, the more and more they all kind of made sense together. I was able to start putting it all together in my head and understanding how our consciousness works from a togetherness perspective, from oneness, and to an individual perspective of shedding the ego and reaching your higher purpose and being an individual, but also being connected. It's all so freaking beautiful. And to say that this is all just a scientific, environmental thing, you're right. This is energy. This is what the energy is doing in our universe. This is what it's creating. It's creating the physical world. It's creating our spiritual world. It is very scientific. And to say it's a religion, it is religious. It's having faith. It's having love. It's, being a moral person. To say it's a spiritual sense, it is about finding your individuality and, knowing your true self. It is the combination of all of everything. And That is my true meaning of life, actually. But also genuinely spreading that sense of love, that sense of recognizing your fears, being conscious and aware of those fears, into having the free will and writing the script that you want to write. But also, it's the balance of having trust within yourself, that you put yourself in the universe exactly where you needed to be, that yourself knew exactly where you needed to be at this time, at this very moment, doing this very thing. And even listening to this very video, or not agreeing with this video, or agreeing with this video, whatever you so desire, it's having that trust in your soul and in your spirit on that predetermined fate. But again, using that free will at a constant rotation, constant motion of us being human beings, given the two things, intelligence and free will. Woo. And I'm going to end it off there this week. It's been a busy time, definitely. The universe is incredible, and it's, I definitely am continuing to learn and learn and learn every single day on how to get through life and the physical. And you're never going to really know the answers to what your true purpose in life is, because you do need to have that fate still, because you are living in this present moment, which is in the micro, and you can't necessarily extend and see the macro. You don't know what the end is going to look like. We talk about that nothing is a coincidence. Things happen for a reason. And it's because when it happens, you're not understanding it. But then when more time goes by, you're like, oh, that's why I met that person. I now have that job. Or, oh, that's why I have this job, because I now have this opportunity. Or, oh, this is why, something bad happened because I was supposed to learn this. It's every single thing. The more and more you go through time, the more and more you're extending the macro and understanding why certain things happen. But your soul, your spirit already know that day. It's already predetermined. But if you don't like if something happened, change the script. It is a constant rotation of trust in yourself. You can follow me on all platforms at official Tony Scardino. I actually just changed my Instagram name though. Just my Instagram to freeingtoni. I don't know. I'm playing it out just because I wanted to connect to free will a little bit more. But that's the only different one right now is Instagram. Please like, rate, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of the week. I hope you guys ponder on these thoughts, on free will, on your purpose of life. And I will see you guys next week.